Hey, folks, and welcome to episode 73 of the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. I am Laura, and I am here with my best friend.
Lori.
And we have a really fun episode for you today. We are going to cover the Mad Marathon that we just ran 2 days ago. So definitely still feeling a little tired. Laura, how about you?
Actually feel pretty good. Um, I'm a little grumpy because there's shit going on with the family right now, but I'm not going to dive into that. But physically, I actually feel pretty okay.
Yeah,
How
I
about
know.
you?
I'm actually feeling good. We'll talk about it. I had a little bit of distress towards the body distress towards the end of the marathon, but that's feeling okay. I'll just cut to the chase. I had what we think was like an IT band issue because as we were going in the downhill for the race, I kept getting this like sharp stabbing pain like in the side and the front of my knee. So we couldn't tell if it was like my patella or my IT band. But man, me and the massage gun, we had a little bit of a relationship with each other last night.
Are
Yeah,
you
that's
dating?
we're beyond dating, man. I let that thing go to home base.
Hey, too much. I do not need to know all that.
Oh God, yeah. No, I was like laying on the ground as Jim and I were watching the home run derby, and man, that I couldn't make the gun go like any deeper into my leg. Like like it's one of those things where you walk around and it feels fine, but as soon as you like even touch it and it's just like ow. But I can do squats and go up and down stairs. It's just I probably need a really good massage just to go and work it out. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about Mad Marathon. But anything else you wanna cover as far as epic week stuff you've been up to kind of on the side outside of like family shit?
Yeah. We have my massage therapist, Paul Manley. He's with Loosen Up Massage Therapy. He is the man. I recommend him to everybody I know. He is amazing. He does great work. I really do. I commend him for probably a third, at least a third of the reason why I've been injury free since 2019. And without disclosing too much, he has had some health issues that has made him have to close up shop for the next 10 to 12 weeks. And we've set up a GoFundMe for him. So I'm hoping maybe Maggie could post that link on our Instagram in case anybody wants to check that out. He's a one-man shop. He doesn't have anybody else that works for him. So for him to be out for 10 to 20, 12 weeks, I mean, that's his
That's
livelihood, his
significant, yeah.
income. Yeah. So anyway, if you feel so inclined to support me and to support him, because by supporting him, you're supporting me because of the fact that he keeps me running. I would very much appreciate it. Other than that, not a lot. Just back at the lake. I know I dropped you. I picked Laura up and dropped her off at the Burlington airport. It's about like 3.5 hours from our place in Cranberry Lake. So I'm still up here, but we'll be heading home for this weekend because we have the Philadelphia Ale Festival on Saturday, which we do every year, which I'm super excited for. But
Yeah.
other than that, do we want to talk about our schedule for the next year?
Yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of
we can.
release.
Yeah, because I don't really have anything really epic to talk about like at all. Like I'm we're going through a kitchen remodel right now and first world issues, but like
No, but
for
it's disruptive.
yeah, I mean it's by choice, right? And the crew we're using Bruce Harlan as our contractor for with a Harlan Construction, and they are or Harlan Remodeling. They're absolutely fantastic. I mean, every day that they leave, like, I mean, you wouldn't even know that like they did demo, in a day, other than like, okay, I'm like my whole kitchen's gone. We're in the phase right now where like half of my house has like cabinets staged in it. Some cabinets are put into the kitchen. there's boxes like surrounding me right now. So, and for our listeners, I am definitely like the OCD person in this relationship here between Lori and I. And I don't do well when my space is like not neat, tidy, like even the other day when we were in the hotel room, like we were leaving for the race in the morning and I was like making my bed. Like it's just like that's my jam. It's like that makes me feel like, whole and so forth. And so it's been a lot. Like my office is in shambles, the basement is a mess, like just every space. But I know I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But again, first world issues
Yeah.
and it's just taking a breath because I do live in this like very OCD space and it's just I just got to
It's
deal.
challenging you right now.
It is. It
You step
is.
outside your comfort zone a little
It
bit.
is. It is. My hubby Jim was like, "Fuck this shit. I'm not living at the house." And so essentially I've seen him maybe like two or three times in the past like 2, 3 weeks. I saw him last night and he actually went back down to Maryland tonight to go and check on something, our house down there. But he was just like, fuck this. He's like, I'm not staying at the house. He's like, there's no, we have no way of cooking food. And I mean, I'm cooking stuff on the grill tonight. Well, actually I had a salad tonight. Um, Trying to get those little parasites in me, so maybe I lose 10 pounds.
That
Um,
does not sound like
no,
fun.
it doesn't sound like fun. I'm joking. But yeah, so that's just what I'm dealing with right now. So it's just kind of like bleh. And like we're headed to take Cape Cod later on this week to go to one of my hubby's best friends from high school. His daughter is getting married up there, so we're going
That's
going
going
to
to
a
be
wedding.
fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So the only sucky thing is that, as you know, I've been like panic, like dress, like purchasing because the dress that I bought, I'm a little couple pounds over from feeling really good in it. So I got two dresses in the mail today. They freaking look awesome, but they're like
Nice.
6 inches too long.
Oh, no. Can you get that fixed in time?
No,
Oh,
no,
shit.
I don't have I
6 inch
don't.
heels?
And I was bummed because I took a picture of like the top of the
Mhm.
dress and I sent them to Maddie, my daughter, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's like they look great." And then it was like the bottom of the dress and it was like wah wah. So we'll see. I might be out tomorrow night, like just stress buying something. So, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good. I'm sure all the ladies on the pod, listening to the podcast, we've all been there at one point in time where you had an event
absolutely.
and you thought something was going to line up, and then you were like, wah, wah, and then you were like panicking. So
Yeah, it's stressful.
it is, it is, but I'll figure it out. So, anywho, but the Mad Marathon, we were mad for running that shit. Oh wait,
Wait,
oh wait,
before we
wait, wait,
start,
wait, wait. Before
wait,
we start, wait,
wait,
wait, wait,
wait,
hold,
pause, stop.
stop, shut the
Let's
fuck up, Laura.
Laura and I talked about during our Cedar Rapids that we had sat down and planned out our year of marathoning. And I thought it would just be fun to go ahead and talk to everybody and put it out there into the ether in case people want to sign up and say hey to us on the course at any of these. But I thought we would discuss our schedule for the upcoming year.
Go
So
for it.
you want to start with what's up next?
The in about 3 weeks, we are running the beginning of August, the ET, what's it called? The ET Midnight
Full moon
Full
marathon.
Moon Marathon. And
It's
that is,
Nevada.
yeah, it's in Rachel, Nevada, and we run, the race starts at midnight because we're running in the desert along the extraterrestrial highway. And it is an out and back. So you run out 13.1 miles and you run back 13.1 miles.
Yeah.
So that one's we did that one in 2020. We recapped it a couple of episodes ago. So we're doing that one again.
Yeah, September, we are going to run Berlin, which we've talked about. Super excited with marathon tours. So that will be our September race. Right now, we are pausing October because I will be in Germany still for the most of the month. So we will have a gap in October. But then in November,
We're running Philly. Whoop whoop.
whoop whoop, the good old hometown race.
Good old Philly. Yeah.
Good old Philly. December 13th, we will be doing Rocket City in Huntsville, Alabama.
Which
It's
that one will be neat because I do have some West Point classmates who are there. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a rally around the pole to go and see who's available to catch up with. So that one might be interesting.
that's cool.
Yep.
January 17th, we're doing the Louisiana Marathon in Baton Rouge.
Never been to Baton Rouge.
Never been there either, so I'm
That's why,
excited
and
to go.
that's why we do this stuff. You know, LSU is in Baton Rouge. Our friend Mary Beth's daughter just graduated from LSU.
Yep. February 7th, the Obscure Mississippi River Marathon in Greenville, Mississippi. Yeah, I know nothing about this race, and I know nothing about Greenville, Mississippi. So
That
it's
one
a
will be interesting because there's like no really close airports to Greenville, Mississippi.
it's going to be planes, trains, and automobiles.
It certainly will. It certainly will. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a crop duster in there. So,
Yes.
ah,
Now, March 7th, a month later, I've got to be on cue first thing tomorrow morning. We are recording on a Tuesday evening, and tomorrow is when the Little Rock Marathon registration goes live. So, crossing my fingers, that's not going to be difficult on registration day to get into, hopefully.
yep.
April 3rd, St. Louis Go. I think isn't that what it's called? The Go St. Louis
Yes. Yeah.
Marathon.
Yeah.
That's
Th-
cool.
And and that'll be neat because that's some old stomping grounds for me. I used to live in Missouri when I was in the Army, and we used to on weekends go up to Missouri or go up to St. Louis and go to the St. Louis Zoo and just do like I remember, I mean, because we didn't have a lot of money back then, but like we loved going to like the Spaghetti Factory. Do you remember the Spaghetti Factory like restaurants?
No.
Oh, they just served a shit ton of pasta. So
I think
anyway,
St. Louis, I think the Arch.
yep, yep, been up in the Arch as well. So
Yeah, I did
yeah,
that with the kids, I don't know, in the 2000s teen something.
yeah.
May 2nd, we are doing our second running of the Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oink oink.
So excited for that. And we've already recapped that a couple episodes ago, but we'll recap it when we do it again next May. But already have our reservation for what is it, the Netherland. It's a historic hotel in downtown Cincinnati. It's a Hilton property. Super stoked about that one.
Oh, you already got that reserved?
Yeah, I texted
Oh,
you it. I texted you the link.
uh,
I said already reserved Cincinnati.
okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. So that's good
I
that we're
didn't want to miss out on that one, so I
yeah.
went ahead and took
It's
care of
good.
that.
It's good that we're recapping this right now.
Yes. And then to round out the year, June 6th, we are doing the Deadwood Marathon again in South Dakota. And I'm stoked for that one too, because I think Deadwood is a super cool town.
It was really neat. That was a really that was a race where I really bonked early on in the race. So I know I surprised you when I said that I wanted to run Deadwood again, and you were like,
Yes.
"Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel like I need a redemption run." So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm gonna kick that race's ass.
Hell yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Just before we move on, there was an option for us to set up teams for the Louisiana Marathon and the Rocket City Marathon, which is celebrating its 50th running. So that's a monumental year, which should be cool. We have a mile 20 team for both events. So if anybody cares to join us, they can sign up and put in mile 20 as their team.
Cool. And the other running news we have is how did you fare for the London 2 day, my friend?
Wah, wah.
I fared wah wah. It was
Hmm.
funny. We were listening to a bunch of folks, other fellow runners during the Mad Marathon this past weekend talk about, the hopes that everybody had when they announced the 2 day, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get in. Like nobody knew anybody who got in. So
Yeah.
it's it is what it is. So I think we have enough races set up for next year that, we'll have to go and figure out when we're gonna go and plan London.
Yeah. I think it'll 2028 is looking most likely just because of the wedding. Well,
Yep.
obviously we were declined for 2027. So
Yes.
So the
So
option for 2027 isn't there unless we want to do
2028 is
charity.
looking like the next viable option for us.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
don't think I don't think I have it in my capacity to try and do fundraising for 2027 and do the wedding and all of that malarkey. So,
No,
yeah,
no, no, no expectations set there. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. So why did we pick the Mad Marathon? Why did you pick the Mad Marathon? Because you were like, we're gonna do the Mad Marathon. I'm like, okay. I had no idea
Well,
what I was getting
I don't
into.
think I knew what I was getting into either. And we should have taken the warning from Bart Yasso when we interviewed him that he was like an elevation whore. Like he enjoys climbing mountains and doing really hard things. I just happened to have seen that it was like in his book of 100 runs of a lifetime. And I'm like, oh, that should be super pretty. We should do that one because we did Vermont City, the
Right.
Burlington Marathon, the first go round, which we already recapped that too. So, yeah, so I thought it would be pretty.
And it was. I mean, and the indicator to me was that every description of this race, you kept saying it's a beautiful but challenging course. It's
Yes.
beautiful but challenging. What? It's challenging. Did we mention it's challenging?
Yeah, but I
Holy
think
cow.
you and I are like, we've done challenging things, like we did
Yeah.
when we did Deadwood, that's pretty much 13 miles up and then 13 miles down. We've done Big Sur, that's got crazy elevation. We've done MDI, Mount Desert Island Marathon in Acadia. That's the only one that comes even close to Mad. They both have about 1,800 feet in elevation. I think Mad maybe has it by a few tens more than
Yeah.
um, MDI, but yeah, elevation.
I mean, so to give you all a perspective, so the night before the race, Lori and I, we figured the temperature was going to be in like the mid to low 50s by the start time. So which is good weather for us to plant our mile 20 beverage because, the ice isn't going to be like completely depleted. If it's going to be warm out in the morning, usually we'll plant our beverage like early in the morning before we go to the start line. So we plan our beverage, but as we're driving there, Lori sets the map to the point where we're dropping. And we turn this corner and we hit what's called the dip. And if for anybody who has run the Mad Marathon and you mentioned the dip, they know exactly what it is. It is like this. I don't even know what the gradient is of the road, Lori, but the road
Steep.
goes straight down and it has like a little tiny, like landing spot, and then the hill goes straight back up the other side. So
Yeah.
it's nicknamed the dip. And when her and I were driving it in the car in her Jeep, we both were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because
I
we knew
I
at that point in time we were on the course.
may have shat myself a little bit.
But you know what? I think that was absolutely outstanding because that hill set the expectation in my head for like the whole rest of the race. Like I'm just going to be dealing with this like the entire race.
Yeah. And I think because I saw how crazy that was, which is it's a part of an out and back that sits between mile like 14, 15, and then again at 22, 23, or 20 and 21,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. I don't know, but it's an long out and back that's part of it. And I was like, okay, so this is what it's going to be like all day because if you look at the profile for it looks like you go down for like a mile and then you're up
Straight up.
for like 10,
Yeah.
with little rollers and dippers and things. And then, this thing midway and then at the end. And I have to say, like, none of the other hills felt the same amount of steepness as what we saw. And I was prepared for that all day long. So I think
Yes.
my perspective shifted a little bit when I got out on course and I was like, this isn't bad. Oh, this one isn't bad. They're all bad. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, so we sign up for this because it is like documented in Bart Yasso's book as, one of the prettiest marathons, or like one of the top 100 runs. I would definitely say it was picturesque. You run through the Green Mountains, and you have I would say like a pretty consistent view of the Sugar Bush ski resort for most of the time you're running. And you run through some, pastures, a lot of dirt roads too, which I think helped with us with recovery. When
Absolutely.
like I know you and I love like a packed dirt trail because it just, I don't know, there's just something about it that,
It's just more forgiving on the
it is
joint.
so much more forgiving. So,
Yeah.
so we were very happy when we experienced that. Unfortunately, I mean, now I was pretty proud of myself, because I am forever getting like schmegma in my shoe, right? Like when we're running on dirt trails
Yes.
or
If
rocks
there's a
and stuff,
pebble, you
I'm
find
gonna
it. You're
find it and
like
it's gonna go in
Princess
my
in the
shoe.
Pea.
I only
Yes.
cleared out my shoes once.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty damn good for all the road that we ran on. So our weekends, we'll just kind of take a step back. Our weekends started on Friday. So I actually, after work, I flew in to Burlington because, coming back on Monday, and then we're driving up to Cape Cod, and it was just to me like just felt too much driving for me personally. I'm not like Lori, and I can just, drive 12, 15 hours a day. It just like that's not my jam. So Lori was at Cranberry Lake up in the Adirondacks, so she came over from her family's cabin and picked me up at the airport. And then from there, we went to Waterbury, Vermont, correct?
Yeah, it's Waterbury is kind of on the way to the Waitsfield in the Mad River Valley. But by the time you got in, we were both starving and it was
Yeah.
like dinner time. So we stopped at Prohibition Pig restaurant for dinner. It's got a little brewery in the back. The brewery was shutting down, but the kitchen was open there until 9. And I think we rolled up there at like 8:15. It was very late and, had a delicious dinner.
Yeah, they had really nice barbecue. We had some fingerling potatoes, and the wine was good. But you had some kind of cool drink, didn't you have some kind of like jalapeno drink?
Oh yeah, I had like a spicy kind of margarita.
Yeah,
It was delicious. It was like pineapple, mezcal. It was delicious. But it
yeah,
wasn't too spicy because I don't like it when it's overly spicy, but it
yeah,
was perfect.
yeah.
And I got the ribs and the ribs fell off the bone. They were fantastic.
Yeah, and for those of you with a gluten allergy, they accommodated like all of my allergy. So they, in fact, at some point in time, like they sent out the wrong item, and the bartender was like scooped it right up, and got me taken care of. So yeah, it was a good experience, and I had a really really good meal as well, and thoroughly enjoyed that. And then we made our way over to the WHL, the White Horse Lodge, where we ended up staying. So this is about 15 minutes outside of Waitsfield, because Waitsfield, Vermont, is where the Mad Marathon start is. When we signed up for this race, there were absolutely like zero accommodations. I mean, it's a small town area. They don't have these
Yeah.
big hotels, but it's a lot of like little lodges that accommodate mostly like skiing or people who do hiking, bicycling, so forth during the summertime.
Yeah. It's a cute little remodeled lodge and it seems like the customer service was fantastic.
Agreed.
Like what was her name?
Dana.
Dana, texting you, they live on property, they manage the
Mhm.
lodge, and it was very cute and quaint. It had like a lovely little like bar billiards room with a TV and stuff in the back, and a really pretty, charming like little sitting room with leather sofas and chess and all that kind of books and games and a puzzle thing. It was very homey.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally agree. And it totally met our need, in terms of like, needing to be close to the race, but we were also, kind of in the woods, which was nice, and not, you know, not in kind of like a city environment. So, but then the next day we got up and we went to a
And the
place.
chaos begins.
Yes. So we went to a place called, what was it?
Toast and
Toast
eggs.
and Eggs.
Very
Cool.
cute.
Yeah, cute place, cool model. You go actually go right up to the counter and you order your food and then, they bring the food to you. And so of course, I see on the menu that, there's mimosas and I turned to her and Lori and I was like, picture of mimosas? And she's like, why, yes.
Okay, this is how we're going to start this weekend. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yes. So that is how we started the day. Great breakfast though. I would highly recommend going to Toast and Eggs. Like that
Yes,
was
and
like
their
the delicious food.
and their pineapple mimosa was delicious and very
Yes.
generous. There was a lot in the picture.
Yes. Yes. Very, very generous. And then from there we went over to
It was very walkable, the
yeah,
downtown Waitsfield area. So we
yeah.
walked from there over. Now that we're farmers market people, I feel like this happened this summer, maybe when we were in France, but now all of a sudden we start
Like
traveling. We're
where's the
like,
farmer's market?
my gosh, there's a farmers market. We should go. And they had a really cool, like, bluegrass band that was up there playing, just setting the tone. And they had like all kinds of cool vendors. And of course, maple syrup and honey and I don't know, all sorts of stuff. You wound up buying a really cool liqueur.
I did. They had, and I'm just looking up the name of the band, Lori, because we really, really liked them a lot. And oh,
I
here
did
it
not
is.
see them on Spotify though.
And they were called Acoustic Ruckus. Yeah, but they were not on Spotify, unfortunately. So we couldn't go and pick up their music. But yeah, no, I picked they had like a guy that was there with like spirits and he had an elderflower rum and
Delicious.
it was absolutely delicious. So and my daughter absolutely loves making like, cocktail concoctions. So I thought of her with that and figured that'd be something cool to go and have on hands to go and make some cool beverages with. And then we went to a stand that the guy had made different ornaments and pieces of jewelry out of old pieces of wood from like reused things, like whether it be seats from like Yankee Stadium or an old hockey stick or an old tennis racket. And he repurposed the wood and, made artful jewelry. So both you and I bought some earrings from that place.
Yeah, I got earrings from Citizens Bank Park, which I thought was super cool. And you picked out a really cool running man, like a carved wooden running man Christmas ornament. So luckily he had two, so I grabbed
I
one
know,
also.
I know.
It's
That was good.
very
And
cool.
they were the last two, at least that he had like out on display.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that was a good find. But unfortunately we got there like a little late. So we caught the tail end of the farmers market. And then from there we went over to packet pickup, which was again like all in the walking downtown area. It's like again, very, very small downtown. But we walked to get the packet pickup and that was like it was kind of uneventful, very easy to get the packet, very I don't know. They didn't ask for my ID.
no.
So yeah, so packet pickup, just very easy to get your bib. We got some cool shirts, and
They
then
did
we
have like a few spots where there was extra merch, like sweatshirts that had like the state of Vermont on it and
yeah,
like
they were
was
cool. They were cool
med and
looking. Yeah, they were
yeah,
they were they were well done. I know you and I didn't pick up anything extra because like I
we
think
just
we
have so much
we just
shit.
have so much racing stuff that at this point in time it's like I just have things that I haven't worn in months and it's just kind of pointless at this point in time to buy more stuff. So,
Exactly.
but I did like and I liked the option that they had a ladies, shirt option
Yes.
with a V-neck or they were like or you can do the unisex like the men's version. And I'm like give me a men's small because it was a crew neck. So I was very, very happy about that.
Yeah, me too. I wound up
Yeah.
opting for the crew neck as well. I was
Yeah.
kind of looking to see like how they swung that, like whether there was multiple races on the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, but it actually does just say Mad Marathon, so none of the other distances. So if you are coming into the area, all the distances, they all go at one time. Um, was there, I think there was a
There
5K,
was a 5K as well. 5K,
10K
5, 10, half
half,
marathon and full.
and a 5-person relay.
Yes. Hmm.
So they have the whole gamut, but they all go off at the same time. So there's no challenge like about whether you can run multiple events. You cannot. It's one event. Pick it. Stick with it.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine doing multiple events on any of that course. So that's probably a blessing that they keep it that way. Yeah, but it's a smaller race too. But it was
Yeah.
just a simple packet pickup. Now they will tell you that the packet pickup is at Lawson's Finest Liquids, which is a little brewery in town that is adorable. It's not really at the brewery, it's a brewery adjacent. It's more like in the parking lot of the brewery than at the brewery itself.
Right.
But of course, I can't pass up a brewery. So we kind of sauntered over to the brewery to check out what was going on there. And wound up, they have a ton of IPAs there. So it was cool. I was able to get a flight. And I know you got a yummy cider.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and then we were like, all right, what are we gonna do next? And we definitely wanted to go and check out the Mad River and see what that was all about because this river runs through this whole valley. They call it the Mad River Valley. And it's cool because like everything in the area is named Mad something.
Yes.
Mad chiropractic, Mad, gas station. It's just they totally embrace it, when it comes to like their brand. But you and I, before we went to the river, we ended up going to the Von Trapp family homestead. So when you hear Von Trapp, you think of Sound of Music. Yep, same family.
Yep.
So they years ago, actually during World War II, we found out by reading up on them that they actually did form a singing troupe. And they left Austria and actually came over to the United States and up until I want to say like was it in the 50s, maybe late 50s or
Yeah.
something, that they had their family as a singing troupe and they actually settled in the Vermont area. So we actually went to one of their homesteads and they had a little market there where you could buy like cheese from them and stuff. So we bought some charcuterie because we were like, oh, this would be cool. Let's go sit down by the river and we'll do charcuterie. And then, of course, I grabbed like a bottle of rosé and, you know,
Oops. I don't know
yeah.
how that ended up in the order.
Well, what we established is that sitting by a river and eating a lot of charcuterie, like we ate a lot of cheese. I ate a lot of cheese. Like it was, and I have a
It was
lactose
a lot of
intolerance.
cheese.
We'll never do that again. So that ranks up there with like not eating Chipotle, like, before a marathon. Yeah, doing charcuterie, not up there before a marathon anymore.
It does really weird things to your poop, and that's all I'll say about that.
Just was not a good couple of days. So, you
It was
know,
a great couple of days. We just made some poor choices
yes,
within that.
yes, yes. And then, to put more misery into the tummy, we went to a pizza joint called
Pizza Soul.
Pizza Soul, and they did have gluten-free pizza, and it was good. It's good gluten-free
Pizza was
pizza.
excellent. It was
Yeah,
very good. I actually had it my leftovers for dinner last night, and I enjoyed
nice.
them last night too.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I enjoyed the pizza. And it was great because they were, when I said, hey, I need it to be gluten free, they were like, are you okay with cross-contamination? Da 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 da. So they were very, very conscious about it, which made me feel good, just in terms of like their awareness. And then, the next morning, race started at 7 a.m. The one thing we observed is like lots of people online for the porta johns. So we don't know how fast the porta john lines went, but they were pretty deep, in terms of people. Um, Outside of the porta johns, not in the porta john. Um, but so we're like, could they have used a couple more? Maybe. But
Yeah, we don't know how
minor.
long people were sitting online. We got all of our bathroom stuff out of the way, so we rolled up a little later. Parking was easy because it's a
Very
smaller.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, it was easy to get parked, walk up. It was a little confusing about where the start was because a lot of people were kind of gathered around the finish line. And you could tell by looking at the map that the finish line and the start line were not in the same place. But when you look at this map online, it's interesting the way they word like where the start line is. They're like, it's on Main Street by the the telephone pole marked like 2009-43, and you're like, what? Like, isn't there going to be a start line? Like, why do I have to know where the telephone pole is and what it's marked as?
Yeah, yeah, we were kind of giggling about that because with us being back of the Packers, sometimes we are on the course and we don't see anybody both in front of us or behind us. And sometimes that can become alarming if, a race, if you're finding that the race was not well marked. I think we had just one snafu towards the end of the race where
Yeah.
we ran a little bit. This was like right almost at the 26-mile marker because we came in after the normal cutoff time. They had, I think, probably pulled up some of the cones of
Well,
where the
that
normal
and
course was.
they clearly had a volunteer that had been standing there because his
Yeah,
vest was hanging up. And
yeah,
I think because we saw that the cones were kind of lining a drive and the vest was hung up there, I was thinking, oh, I think we turn here. But at the same time, we saw one singular cone that said 26 miles about 5 feet from the turn. And so we were
right.
like, do
We're
we
like,
go
do we go that
straight?
way? Do we go this way? Like, we didn't want to cut it short, so we ran a little. So we ran an ultra. We ran an
Yeah.
ultra, Lauren.
We wound up turning down the road and going down a back way, which took us the same distance, same location, but it definitely wasn't like official course per se. I think they could have just used a few of the because they had orange spray paint arrows on the pavement. They could have probably used one or two right there on the sidewalk just to guide runners to keep going straight for those that straggle.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will tell you, so well supported for back of the Packers. They had one table where they were handing out watermelon around mile 18,
Yeah.
19,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
About 19.
Yeah, they had a huge table full of watermelon cubes, and then they had a Himalayan salt shaker that you could shake it on your watermelon. Never tried that before. Holy
You
shit.
were raving about that, man.
That hit so hard at mile 19. And props to them because they stayed there through everybody who went through. And I thought that that was wonderful. They had enough supplies, everything. I did not feel like we were shortchanged anything by being a little bit beyond the cutoff time for that one.
Yeah, because we had so was it the Professor Watermelon? Is that what it was or
Yes,
yeah,
Professor Watermelon.
Professor Watermelon was the guy who he said was his name at the watermelon stop, and then I think it was Jim who was at one of the second to last water stop that was still out there with the water and the Gatorade, and then there was a gal with her dog
Was
at
it
the
that dog's name Willow?
it was Willow, yes, because
Yes.
Willow was cool because later on, when we saw Willow after we finished the race, they had dumped a bunch of ice on the grass. I guess like keeping beverages cold. And that dog was like it was a golden retriever, and it was like rolling around on the ice on the ground. It was
Because it
I've
got
never
hot.
seen a dog do that like ever.
Yeah. It got hot towards the end. I mean, it was in
It was Real Feel 88.
upper 70s.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Real Feel 88 when we finished.
Yeah. So
So.
it got hot.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the one thing that if you haven't run the Mad Marathon and you decide to do it is make sure you bring sunscreen with you. So, I definitely sunscreened up. I'm very, very grateful I did because I burn very, very easily. And there was not a lot of shade on this course.
Yes, I did not lube up and I was feeling it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So definitely come prepared because definitely the back half of the race. I mean, there is some shade during the race and then the front part of it, but the back part where it starts getting warmer, the sun's up higher,
Yeah,
it's definitely not shaded.
if you're on the back half where the sun is up a little higher,
Yep.
yeah, the shade goes away for you. If you're on the front half, you're probably fine, but everybody else lube
Yep.
up.
Yep. Now the start, I mean, we didn't go in waves. I mean, it's not like you said, it's not a big race. I think we looked it up, the last like 3 or 4 years has been maybe between 250 and 275 finishers for the marathon. So we
Yeah.
we kind of anticipated that, and with it being very challenging and hilly, that we were going to be towards the very, very back of the pack, which we're fine with. We're like we finish it, we get it done. And but they did have pacers, which was surprising.
All the way
on the
down
course.
to the even it was kind of cool because really their sweeper felt more like a pacer than a sweeper. Like
Yeah.
she was super sweet. So they had a 6 hour pacer and then a 6:30 pacer slash sweeper that came by, and everybody was super nice. Loved the group. We hung out with was it Dana and Peter for the longest time. They were the 6 hour pace group. Nice, nice people.
No, it was Bree. It was
Oh
Bree.
shit, Bree, not
Yeah,
Dana.
Bree. Yeah,
Bree.
Dana was from our resort. But
Oh,
no,
Dana's from hers. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
yeah.
got them all switched.
Yeah, we were with Bree and Peter, and then Nikki was our pacer at the 6.5 mile or 6.5 hour mark.
Yeah, and she was awesome too. Like everybody was so
She
great.
messaged us already
Oh, did she
on
really?
yeah, I already responded to her. Yeah, so like really cool, really sweet people, like, and everybody was just so interactive. Like when we were talking to Nikki, I don't know, we were like, it was before we hit like mile 18. It was when we had to do that like little block. The guy was like, just go around the block, and it was like fucking 4 miles. We're like,
Yeah, yeah. There was no, that's not a
this is not
block.
how we define a block in Philly.
It was not a city block, that's for sure.
But but when we were talking with her and just, you connect with people on different topics and things, and she made the miles go by fast during that block of time,
Yeah.
which was super nice. But yeah, but everybody that we met, I just adored. I mean, everybody was just so super chill and cool. And and again, the volunteers stayed out there the entire time that we were out there. And we finished the race. So it has 6.5 hour cutoff. We finished in 6 hours and 46 minutes, at least by my watch. And, I like a lot of that. We probably could have come in, I'm thinking, at the 6.5 mile mark, um, or the six and a half.
Had we, yeah,
Yeah.
if we
Well,
hadn't had the potty stops,
yeah, I had a
which
lot
we
of
both
potty
had.
stops. Yep. And then like, I don't know, like after mile 20, maybe 21, 22, we started really hitting the downhill, and that's when I started getting the pain in my right leg. And so I basically had to walk, part of the downhills until I got to like an incline where I wasn't like getting that, like, and you've had the what do you call it, the pains in your leg in the past. So as soon as I started describing it, you were like don't push this, don't, like, we don't need you injured, like
Yeah.
injured. So that just sucked because like it was downhill, and like we could have totally made the 6:30 cutoff, but it is what it is. We finished
Shit
it.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Now along the way you will see beautiful scenery of mountains and open fields, a lot of beautiful older, you know, um, like Cape Cod, not Cape Cod, but like what am I looking for?
Just like New England,
New England
New
style.
England colonial almost. New England
Yes,
colonial barns and farmhouses. It's
lots of barns.
if you could imagine what quintessential agricultural mountainous Vermont looks like,
This was it.
this was it. Like the Ben and
Spot on.
Jerry's labels. Like it was
Yes.
blue skies, big fluffy white clouds, green grass,
Some
rolling
cows every
hills.
once in a while,
Yeah, the Holstein, the black and white Holstein cows. It looked so cute. It was great vibes. It really was. It was very it was very pretty. It was very pretty. Now, is it the same as like Big Sur with like dramatic coastal views, or
No,
MDI again with Eastern dramatic coastal views? No, but
no.
I would say for like some of the smaller rural races we've run, it's definitely the prettiest.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And I did go on record with you to go and say I'm good running this once. Like
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I was mad enough to run the mad marathon, and I'm good.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I'm good too.
Yeah. But what was really neat was the finish line, and they actually have a mocked up, I don't know, door to a barn.
Yes,
Like it looks like an
like a whole
entry.
side of a barn. It looks like a side of a barn with a door in it.
Yeah, with the door,
No
and
door.
you go through the entrance of the barn, for your finish. And so I really, I don't know. It was one of the more unique finish lines that we've gone
Yeah, they
through.
also had a boatload of flags. They were, albeit putting them down at the point when we finished,
That's
because we
okay.
were past,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fine.
Yep.
But it was really cool because they did have a whole row of flags going into the barn as you finished.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was
And
very
then
cool.
the other cool thing is that we as we were standing at the start line, we heard like somebody say something about this guy Chuck Engel, and I was like, no way. So a an old buddy of mine from West Point, we had
He's a badass.
he him and I reconnected after he saw my name on a race results from Rehoboth Beach like this past year. So we connected on Messenger, and so when I heard his name called before we started the race, I messaged him and I was like, dude, I'm at the race, you know. So after the race, we like he was standing there. It was like Chuck, and met his wife, his dog, his in-laws. And I mean this guy's a badass, like when it comes to like races and stuff. I mean, he goes out
He's
to
very
win.
well accomplished.
Yes, he goes out to win races. So it was funny catching up about, just kind of West Point stuff, and then which Lori was very, very patient, us kind of talking through.
I
And
enjoyed his stories. It was just when y'all started talking about, well, how about this person, that person? I was like, ah, I'm gonna pet the
yeah,
dog.
yeah, 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 yeah. But that was cool going and connecting. And then he gave us a great tip. He said, "Hey, my wife and I went and ate at the Hideaway restaurant and inn. That was actually like right around the corner from where our lodge was." And he's like, "We ate there last night, had a fantastic dinner, and that's where we ended up going for dinner after the
Yes.
race."
Before we move on, though, from Chuck, I just want to say, in case he is listening, I hope you crush Lake Placid this
Oh,
weekend.
crush it. Yeah,
He's doing
crush it.
The Lake Placid Ironman, and God, I hope you do amazing.
I know. I know. Good luck, Chuck.
Yeah, good luck. Sometimes you're a poet and you don't even know it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we showered and then headed over to the Hideaway restaurant, and we had an absolutely incredible meal, and then met two just really, really cool people, Anne-Marie and Matt. And
They were
Anne-Marie,
not together, they were
no,
separate, but we just got to chatting people organically at the bar, and
we got there first, and then
it
they
was an
sat down.
amazing conversation, just giving like back and forth about cool races everybody has run, like, and everybody was such an accomplished marathoner. It was just, they were so much fun to chat with.
Yeah, yeah. And what we found is that Matt is actually running the ET marathon the same time as us. So we'll have to. And the funny thing was during the race, he was again, because it was like an out and back, during the back portion of the race, we actually saw him taking selfies with a cow,
Yes.
and we were making comments to him about it, and then here he is then like sitting at the bar, with us. So it was pretty funny. But I can't wait to go and see the outfits that him and the one that he got for his girlfriend as well. Like they just look like they're going to be all like, all dressed up, for the alien,
Yeah.
race,
Yeah.
which will be fun. So, but highly, highly recommend if you are in the Waitsfield area, you're skiing at Sugarbush, you're going there for the race. Definitely go to the Hideaway
And not
restaurant.
Hide. It's not like the
HY.
hide. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like hide
Yes.
away.
Yes.
Yes.
I had the shrimp and grits, and oh my goodness, for getting shrimp and grits in Vermont. And you know me, I love my shrimp and grits, and I'm the
Yeah.
kind of picky about them. Like that. They were superb.
Yeah.
Superb. Yeah.
Everything we had was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had
So
the wings and they were so good.
yeah. Yeah. But
And the fingerling potatoes. We had a weekend defined by fingerling potatoes. I'm like, why do I not make more fingerling potatoes at home? I don't know. Because we
I
had some delicious fingerling potatoes on this
oh
trip.
man, that the stuff that we had on Monday, because like Monday, Lori had to drive me back to the airport, and we stopped for lunch because I had to take a work call. And so, we ordered lunch. And what was the name of the place that we went
The
to?
the Blackback pub in Waterbury. We went back through Waterbury on the way out and we stopped
Yeah,
there for lunch. It was a great
absolutely
bar.
Oh, delicious, delicious food. I mean, and again,
Yes.
got fingerling potatoes, you know?
Yes, and they had like this chipotle garlic aioli sauce on the bottom that was to die for. It was so good.
Yeah, yeah, that was really good. So, yeah, so just overall, really great weekend. I mean, Burlington was about an hour drive from
Yeah,
Waitsfield, so wasn't hateful. I know you had a three and a half hour drive, from where you were. If I had driven up there from, our area in the Philly area, it probably would have been about like a six and a
probably
half,
7, 8, I
seven,
would think.
7
Yeah.
hour drive. Yeah, because you're getting on the back
If you
roads,
remember how long it took us to drive to Vermont,
Yeah.
Burlington was a far ass drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ella
So I
Ella
just,
actually texted me. She's like, "Do you miss my chatter?" I was like, "Yes." Because literally the first time we drove up there, I feel like we got into the hotel at like 1 a.m. Like we left at some crazy late hour
yeah,
and
you
drove
guys got there
up.
later because Jim and I went and flew up with Maddie.
And like Ella kicked Dave because Dave kept falling asleep in the passenger seat and I was driving and Ella sat down for like 2 hours. She was in fifth grade and just yammered on and on and on and on for hours. So I was like, yeah, man, I miss you. I'm here by myself.
Yeah, yeah. No, for those in the area, I mean, it's drivable, but again, Burlington is the way to go, and
Yeah.
again, it's only an hour drive, so it's not hateful, and there are plenty of lodges, but if you like around the race start, but if you sign up for the race, like don't drag your feet on like getting a place because I was a little stressed that we couldn't go and find a hotel, that was at
And
least
don't
close enough.
and don't lean on like the big chains. Like you're not going to find a Hilton or
No.
Marriott property in the area. It's all quaint inns that are nearby and or like the Sugar Bush ski resort also has rooms.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe about 10 to 15 minutes from the start line. So it was a little further because it was up the mountain,
Yeah.
but not too far. Easy.
Yeah. 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 But I think my shirt I'm wearing today while we're podcasting kind of says it all. Like I felt like I was on hell on earth during the race, and my shirt says hell was boring.
That was boring. So I signed up for the Mad Marathon.
So I signed up for the Mad Marathon. But no, I'm glad we did it. I mean, I know the night before the race, I had a lot of anxiety about it, and I got about 4 hours of sleep the night before the race. So yeah, it's just I think you said it best, Lori, when we woke up in the morning, the next, for the race morning, and you were like, you know what? Even though this is our 74th marathon, it is quite humbling to go and know that you can still go and get anxious and get butterflies and get nervous about a course. And,
Yeah.
just it puts it in perspective. Like we respect it.
Yeah. It's never the distance. Like at 74, 73, 74 marathons now.
74,
I'm
74.
getting confused because we almost have the same number of podcasts as we have
I
marathons.
know I know. I was like, wait, what number are we on?
I'm like, what number are we at? Because it's 73 podcasts, 74 marathons. But like, I know I'm going to finish the distance. I never know if it's going to be within the time frame or not that I need to finish. And I never know how I'm going to feel while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, the experience does bring you some confidence that you can finish,
Yeah.
barring something crazy happening, but you just don't know what that journey is going to be like ever on any given day.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And it is. It's one of those things where you appreciate that we're still getting out there and doing it. And even if it's, we're at the very, very back of the pack, it's that sense of accomplishment when you come across that finish line, you're like we did that. We did that together. And it's
Hell,
just
there was a woman behind us that was walking a rollator.
yeah.
I mean, she finished the marathon. She did
Yes.
the whole marathon,
Yes. Yes.
pushing, walking a rollator.
Yes.
So, you can talk any excuse you want for not moving or doing whatever, but there are people out there figuring out how to make it work. So just move.
I agree. I agree. Now
There's
the
no
the
excuse.
I agree. The shirts, we already talked about the medals.
Yep.
The medals were nice. It was the 15th annual Mad Marathon. And
Yes.
so they had that designated with the marathon, and it was a different color for the marathon versus like the other races. And it was cool. It has a barn with a chicken on it, and it looks like the sun's rising over the barn. And I really, really like their medal. It just and that was the front of their shirt as well. For
And
those
then
who
and the barn door kind of looks like the finish line.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
So for those who want to see it, I think we got pictures of it like at our finish line picture, or you can get out on YouTube and watch our video that, we do every week. So all right. So would you do it again?
I probably would do it again. I would recommend it.
I would
Is
recommend it.
as long, but if you're into hills and you like a challenge, I would recommend this race. I think it's really cool. It was beautiful. The logistics are great. It's well run.
Yes.
But if you are a flat person who does not want that kind of challenge and you're going to go mental over it, obviously I would not recommend it for you. I would take you and tell you to do Vermont City and do the one in Burlington.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. But I will go on record to go and say I do not want to run this marathon ever again.
But see, I also said that about a lot of things when we did our first round. Like I was never going to do another round, and yet I'm sitting here thinking that this is happening at this point, and I might as well start owning it. So I'm never gonna say never. I think it might be unlikely, but I'm not gonna say no entirely.
It won't be with me, my friend. I'm not doing that one again. Although,
That's
although
fair.
it was kind of cool. We are now like 20 at least because I know that you and I have some states that are overlapped, one or two that are not for this second go around.
I think it's the same ones that weren't overlapped the
Yeah.
first round.
Yeah. And so we're at about like 26% complete with the second round right now.
Whoop
Just saying.
whoop. Yeah.
If you want to go by the data. So,
And really quick, I do want to put a plug in before we close this shit out too, is that I have been sitting here with a mile 20 beverage.
yes.
I did buy a 4-pack from Lawson's Finest Liquids, which it was where the packet pickup was. I did partake in the Hop Wired IPA.
You
It
like
is
that.
it is quite a delicious hazy IPA, so highly recommend if you can pick up a Lawson somewhere, go for it. They brew some good stuff there.
Yeah, and the last two shout outs I want to give is to a gentleman named Jim that we met on the course, who actually we found out that this guy got into like a tubing accident and ended up breaking like a ton of bones in his back. He like had severed up to like 75% of his hamstrings. And he like years later, he's like running. He's like, I defied the odds, and he
Yeah,
was
they told
still
him he would never run again.
yeah, and he was out there running. And then we came across at book signing at the packet pickup a gentleman named Aaron who he actually in a terrible accident. Like I don't even know if you call it an accident, an incident.
I don't,
It
was
was a
it a
shooting.
mass shooting?
It was a shooting incident, and he was shot multiple times. Again, basically told, will not be able to, be active and so forth. And here he is, like out there doing races. And he had a book that, he was promoting as well. And it was funny because after you and I like interacted with him, and then you heard, I read the back jacket of his book to you,
Yeah.
his story, you were like, we've talked to him before. And then all of a
At
sudden
a
it like
race. I
at a
know we
race,
have.
we
Yes.
still can't remember what race we talked to Aaron
No.
at, but very, very, interesting, guy. And again, we meet these people who it's just very humbling for us because they are defying the odds. They're taking that mile 20 moment and just marching on, man. So I kudos to those folks. I just I appreciate you being fellow runners, and thank you for helping to inspire us.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be out there doing this again because now it's back to like recognizing people that are on the circuit sort of again. And and bumping into the same people again and again. Like we bumped into Marie, who had a stroke, who we met.
In Myrtle
She's
Beach.
in Myrtle Beach. She's a pacer, and there's Marie out there running her like 740 something marathon. She's incredible. We bumped into Glenn, who we met at Cedar
That's right.
Rapids, who's on his 11th round. Him and his wife, they were out there doing it, and she was running with a broken rib, which was
Yes.
insane.
Yes. Yes. And then we also bumped into Barb, Deb, and Maureen. So, and I can't remember if it was Barb who was the one that we bumped into in Rehoboth. And so she recognized us at the start and came over to
Yes.
us. And because she was pacing someone,
And
during
Maureen, yeah.
and Maureen, yep, and they were pacing in Rehoboth Beach with someone. And yeah, so I like, we ran with her the first like, like we were back and forth the first couple miles. And she was funny. She was like snarky and, kind of saying like funny stuff. But I think she
Yeah.
was running like her 90th marathon, that race as well. So
Yes.
kudos to them. We didn't see them, so I'm assuming they finished the race. So,
Oh, I'm sure they did.
yeah, yeah. So absolutely fantastic stuff.
So
Yeah. What are we talking about next week?
next week we are interviewing the race director for Calico Racing, Joyce Fourier. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we will get the correct pronunciation next week. Just to hear about, like, I'm curious as to how a race even started in the middle of the desert of Rachel, Nevada, in the middle of literally nowhere, starting at the Black Mailbox. So I'm excited to talk to her and kind of pick her brain about how this all got started and, her thoughts and feelings about race directing and everything. We like to interview our race directors. I think that they just give you a great perspective about a course. Thank you everybody for listening and showing love. We're really just enjoying the hell out of the comments and all the DMs and the chit chats and catching up with people on the course. It's been fantastic. If you're just tuning in with us for like the first time, please follow us at Mile 20 Podcast. We were so close to 400. I actually haven't checked today. We should
On
be
Instagram.
400. Instagram. Shit. Facebook and Instagram at Mile 20 Podcast. Trying to get those followers up. So please follow, follow, follow. If you want to see us in person, we're on YouTube. Other than that, go make Mile 20 your bitch.
Peace out.